Luckily, moderator can become technical support.
That is an invention. He didn't create it, he just modified it. Being a moderator, he is also working as an organizer. So that is an example of that. Okay, here. So today, if you have that brochure and you see that we have basically two topics. How can government build an enabling environment for technological development and innovation? That is on the topic where I'm going to talk about. And again, I already have asked that question, innovation versus creation. That is what you have to do. You have to develop your minds, you have to develop your approach accordingly. Then, this is the difference which I told you between innovation and creation. That's what we have to understand before we embark on to decide whether we are going to innovate something, we are going to develop something for the society, for the economy, or to generate job growth, etc., etc. Now, why I asked that, polling about innovation and invention, I just wanted to define innovation in more concrete way. If you see, or even if you Google, you find at least 20 or 25 different definitions of innovation, which have been put forward by a number of experts. But what are the main ingredients of innovation? What should be there in innovation? What we should include, which can be called as innovation? So that's why I have asked that question, and only one person raised his hand. But if we go to, let me see, okay. So if you see this is kind of a statistics. I didn't make it, it's available on Google. You can search it and you'll find it. So idea has almost 60%. So there should be an idea. It may not be a creativity, but that is an idea which is based on the previous creation or invention. Then there is execution of that idea. That is another important thing. You can come up with any idea, but how you are going to execute it, that is more important. That's why we are here. We may have hundreds of ideas here, but who is going to execute that, and in what manner? That is important. If you are going to use that idea and execute it in the manner that you are going to improve the economy, you are going to improve job prospects, yes, that is a part of the definition of innovation. It also addresses a real challenge. Innovations come only when we need them, when the situation is challenging, only then we start thinking. We also have a point there that all these innovations, they add to the value of the company and also add to the value of customers. So if we are not getting anything in return, we are not going to think about innovation. So innovations always have a lot of value with respect to these two entities. Now, most of the others, like definition, whether it is important or not, addressing certain issues is important or not, they all have very low percentages. So if we analyze that, innovation depends on idea, execution, and the value to the society. So now we have this kind of definition which includes all those points, idea, execution, value with respect to the society. And this is what the innovation is. Now, when we are talking about sustainable development goals, there are so many other parameters, but I think that there are at least these 4 parameters which should be there: the universality, the integration, as well as transformation. So if we have universality of that innovative idea, it's certainly going to work because it can be applied on a wide spectrum of people, a wide spectrum of needs. And then we should have that integration. Integration means that idea should be integrated with all different kinds of ideas. For example, in education. So education is not only for education, or agriculture is not only for agriculture, but all these are interdependent with one another. Education depends on agriculture, agriculture depends on industry, industry depends on some other thing. So that is what the innovation needs. Whenever we innovate anything, we should keep that in mind, that it should take care of all other related aspects of the society. And then finally, transformation. I have said it a number of times that innovation is evolution, innovation is transformation. So whenever you think about innovation, also think that how it can be modified in future depending upon our needs. If you stay where you were 10 years back, you are not going to get any success. So innovation should keep evolving. You have to think the improvement of that particular idea which you have started working on, for example, 10 years back, 5 years back, 4 years back. So these are some of the examples. You can see that there are 14 or 15 different goals, and all of them are interdependent on each other. You cannot separate them. But I'm going to talk a little bit about the scientific research and innovation. And all of you would agree that it is the scientific and technological research which has given us a lot of good innovations, including some ideas as well. And it is because of these technical growth and scientific research that we have attained and achieved so much advancement now. So, scientific research, I always call it as a tool for innovation and sustainable development within the society. And science is one of that important subject. I'm not discouraging other people, but it's because of these scientific and technical research that we have got so many successes in different fields, whether it is medicine or agriculture or economics or anything. These are some of the ideas in the goals which I think that the government or the universities or the academic institutions should have. The first one is that we should have and establish centers for scientific and technological innovations in partnership with private companies. Why it is so? Why we need private companies? Because within the university and academic institutions, we don't have that, those great funds. So we always lack funds for research. Whatever we have, we spend that money on doing research. But when we have a result, when we have any such kind of results which can be, patented or which can be used for commercial purposes, we fail because we don't have that kind of facilities. So our job as an academician or a scientific research is to reach up to that goal where we can suggest and we can give those ideas to private companies who can take over, and then they have the facility to work and take it further on. And that's very important. That's what we call the transfer of knowledge. So the knowledge should be transferred from the academic institutions, especially R&D institutes, to private companies who have resources to do it. Then innovation funds. The government should establish either funds or some kind of facilities where people, scientists should be encouraged to do research where innovations can be done, where some, good products can be developed, which can be commercialized, which can, help in generating economy and job growth.
Prof, can we look at possibly, yeah.
One more. Then we should have competitive research grants for innovative research and small business innovation research funds. And one of the most important things which I would like to say is to establish a center between the government and the universities, where we should be able to find those researchers, those publications which can which lead to the registration of some of the patents in technology. It always happens that we publish paper and many of those results just go by and we are not able to find whether they can be patented or not, or they can be used for innovation or not. So some of these are important aspects which I wanted to share with you. We will have at least 20-30 minutes in the end when we would like to interact with you, and if you have any questions, certainly you will be able to ask. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. So if there are questions, take notes down. We'll kind of put it all up together at the end, okay? So without wasting time, I'd like to invite Professor Anil.
Good afternoon, friends. Before I begin with a few thoughts that I want to share with you, I should recall that in 2006, when I came first time, Mostly was just setting up a fund for innovations, 200,000 ringgit fund.
Prof, do you want to adjust the mic a little bit? Just, yeah.
Yeah.
Better?
And then in 2011, Minister of Science and Technology and Innovation visited us along with the team from Malaysian Innovation Foundation. And very wonderful concept was incorporated in the polity of Malaysia, which was Innovation Walk. And I'm told that these Innovation Walk have not only generated a lot of ideas, but also created a close connection between the communities and the policymakers. Here is an article that we published at that time in 2011, and I want to begin with some examples that we found in Malaysia. One of the examples was a shoe which could be converted into a sandal by zipping off the later part of the shoe. So when you want to use them as sandals, you use them as sandals. When you want to convert them into shoes, you can do that also. And like that, there were large number of them. There was also a bullet storm system which will mix the air and the fuel according to the speed of the vehicle and ensure that the fuel efficiency was achieved in the vehicle. Large number of these innovations were found, and I'm sure some of them must have been taken forward. What I'm going to talk about today is to be a leader in the field of technology, innovation, enterprise. What do we need to do? Honeybee Network, which has started 30 years ago, has given us some directions. A nameless, faceless person comes in contact with the network, gets an identity. I will talk about it tomorrow morning in much more detail, enough to say that this is one dimension of Honeybee Network which I think we should spend some time on. These are the three vectors that we need to be concerned with: innovation, investment, enterprise. Now it's possible that I have an idea, I can convert that into a product, but I don't have the skills, I don't have the experience, I don't have the insights to become an entrepreneur. I don't have the funds. Somebody who has funds doesn't know where the ideas are. Somebody who is an entrepreneur doesn't know both of them. The transaction cost, both ex ante and ex post transaction cost of bringing them together is what the innovation ecosystem has to achieve. We have to create a platform, multiple platforms, so that innovators can find investors, investors can find entrepreneurs, and we can bring them together. In fact, in our experience, many times innovators don't make good entrepreneurs, because entrepreneur has to make batch by batch, consistently same product. Innovators are improvisers. They can never make two things alike. They keep on improvising them. So innovator can be an R&D chief of a company, but for entrepreneurship, you need a person who can manage consistent performance according to the supply chain that he has created. So I will summarize 7 lessons quickly, which we have learned in this journey, which might be useful. One of them is that excellence should become imperative. It takes more time to do a mediocre job. Look at this. We were walking in one of the part of India, in Bihar, came across this beautiful artwork on a grain bin. We asked her, this lady, Ramkumari Devi, why did you do that? She said, I don't know any other way of doing it. When people feel helpless in doing mediocre job, we have achieved something. A society where excellence is a behavior, normal behavior, and mediocrity is exception. That's the kind of society which embarks upon this process.